What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode clip of Pree the podcast. Just to remind you guys that these are only shortened clips, and if you want to listen to the full episode, click the first link below. Or alternatively, you can type in Pree the podcast on all your audio listening platforms. And without further ado, I'll catch you guys on the other side.
Oh, Declan Rice has played 6 games. He's got no goals. He's got no assists. What's wrong with him? Let's all beat up on Declan Rice.
You are now listening to Pree the podcast with your host Majaro.
What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of Pree the podcast. And you know what I'm going to say? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Because we're trying to build a community here. And by sharing this with your friends and family, that goes a long way in helping us do that. And without further ado, let's get into it. But we've gone through the ups and downs of the season. And now it's time to look forward to, welcoming our new manager, Erik ten Hag, from Ajax. What did you guys think of his appointment? Because I, in my opinion, like a lot of yous, I haven't really seen Ajax play like that. So, obviously, when a new player or a new manager comes in, you go back to the YouTubes, type in highlights of how they play, watch loads of
Listen
compilations.
to that rubbish music that they play over the soundtrack.
Trying to not get copyright claimed. Listen to just tactical breakdowns, listen to journalists who've, done their due diligence on him. From the outside looking in, it seems like, he likes young players, a lot of passing the ball, total football, likes technical, but also physically strong, adaptive players. If you listen to him, it's all about the team, it's all about pulling in the right direction, and everything that Manchester United need. And from before we signed him, all the noises I was hearing was, Ten Hag is driving a hard bargain. He's just not just going to accept Manchester United's terms. He needs to have this. He needs to have that. He needs to have a structure. He needs to have the right people in play. He needs, the full backing. Like, doing the research that I've done, he doesn't need the money. For him, this isn't about the money. He's not coming to Manchester United for the money. He wants to leave with a legacy. He wants to say that I've done this. He's had Louis van Gaal say, an ex-manager for Manchester United, he said, don't go to Manchester United. They're a commercial club. If you want success, go to somewhere else. And he probably took that as, this is a challenge. This isn't, going to Manchester City where everything's laid out. This isn't going to Bayern Munich or Real Madrid where, they basically win the league every season or every other season, really. So he's like, I know what I'm going in for. I know it's going to be a challenge. But for me to accept this job, I need these structures. I need X, Y, and Z. And I feel from his part, that is an amazing thing. That's what Manchester United need. They can't just be taking someone off the shelf and be like, cool, now you're our puppet. You say what we want you to say, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, we're not just gonna get you off the shelf and now you're dancing for us. He was like, no, this is gonna be a partnership. We do this together, but obviously I have to be equal in that. I want someone to take care of all the other bureaucracy. I just want to focus on the team. So just from that standpoint and having a clear direction of what he wants to do, I feel like he is probably one of the better managers that we've picked in a long time, just because he's new, he's different, he's not tainted by his previous losses or failures like Mourinho was. He's new in the game and he's got something to prove, unlike Louis van Gaal. He feels like he's got tactical and technical acumen, unlike, David Moyes and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So you think, yes, this is something new, this is something fresh. He's on an upward trajectory, and Manchester United have potentially got a new Pep Guardiola type manager who can actually fulfill, all the things that you want in a positive, front-footing team. So what did you guys think of his appointment so far?
Just to spin some back there, mention what you said there about the sort of structure side of it. Do you think that, obviously the Rangnick thing hasn't worked out as a consultant, do we think that though to deal with all that other stuff going on outside of the actual football, did we need a director of football or whatever you want to call him, a consultant? Someone like, I think he had Van der Sar at Ajax, didn't he?
Yeah.
My ideal situation would have been to bring Van der Sar in as well, someone who knows the club
obviously, but
as a director. handle all of that off the pitch stuff, and then I don't know what you guys think about that. If that's something that United could have done, but
Manchester United could do that, but Van der Sar doesn't want to come. Like, they've just lost their manager. Like,
think he would want to come.
I mean, he would want to come, but not right now. They've just lost their manager.
That's just an example. Van der Sar's an example of someone I knew was doing a similar role. But
so we do. That's the thing with Manchester United and the new structure. They are doing that. It's just not the names that you're saying. It's John Murtaugh. It's this new deputy director that we've got to handle.
It's FTSE 500 guys. It's guys that don't know football. It's
no.
John Murtaugh doesn't know football, does he?
No, but he's getting people who do know football. With Ed Woodward was like the Fortune 500 companies. Yeah, you're mates. We work together in, AEW, business deals, friends with friends. Now it's John Murtaugh who was actually an academy director. He did the academy and the women's team. He was in charge of that. So he comes from more of a football background than Ed Woodward ever did. So automatically he knows, I can't be everywhere. I can't be in Dubai. I can't be in France doing all these deals. So he's getting a deputy director who's also from his type of background, because he came from John Murtaugh came from the Premier League's sport and professional development unit, where they help develop younger players for the FA. And this deputy director, who's going to take up more of the day-to-day run-ins and bureaucracy of everything, so it allows John Murtaugh to do more of the bigger stuff. He's come in and he's being a deputy director.
Something needs to change at Man United in terms of how that footballing structure is run, because why is it whenever we link to a player, it drags on and on? Manchester City or Liverpool, there's no media circus.
It's just done. Silence.
It's done.
Last season,
Why?
Sancho was confirmed. Basically, as I'm going to say confirmed. Fabrizio Romano had tweeted it.
Here we go.
Maybe late during the Euros. Sancho then ended up missing pre-season. Missed, I think, the first game of the season, and it was just he wasn't fit for this. It should only be coming out whenever they're literally about to do the medical sign up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's such a good point. And yeah, I mean, and this isn't directly to do with Ten Hag, but it all relates to it, because to allow Ten Hag to do his thing, we need the other side, the other aspects in store. So my opinion on Ten Hag is it's quite simple. I'm a pessimist. I've heard all this before. Ten Hag has done well. He's got a good CV. Van Gaal had a good CV. Mourinho had a good CV. And Rangnick spoke a good game. So what's going to be any different this time? I mean, I guess if we're speaking in a couple of months, we'll see what transfers he makes, and we can make more of an assessment. But I think, look, he talks a good game. First thing he has to do, as we've mentioned before, is rid out all of the deadwood. We've already got people leaving out of contract. That's not enough. We need to sell a lot of the deadwood. We need to try and get some money for them. Yeah. We need to use that money on top of the transfer kitty set aside and just go out and sign. It doesn't mean like a football manager style, fantasy football policy, but pick your style. Ten Hag, to be fair, I think he does have his style, so I think he'll be good at that. He'll know what he wants to get, and he'll go out and he'll get it. Whether it'll all be done in one transfer window, probably not, because I think it'll be probably a 2-year cycle. Give him the 2 years, see where we end up. Most importantly, he needs to get the guys playing for the shirt. He needs to get the young guy. We need to change the wage structure a little bit as well. I mean, I'm all for people earning big money. I think it's a lucrative business. It's risk reward. You get the reward for doing well. You get the attention if you're not doing well. But I think we need to make that jump between your initial 17 contracted as 17, 18-year-old. That jump between what Greenwood and Rashford were earning at 17, 18 and what they were earning, when they got their first big contract, it was shocking. And
crazy.
If I got that kind of pay rise, I wouldn't have motivation to go in and do my job at 9 a.m. every morning. So why would they? So it's making sure everyone's on the right path, everyone's working hard. We have that one philosophy, and he gets in the players he wants, and he gets in the players he wants is the main thing, not who Ed Woodward, who doesn't. Edward's gone. Has he actually gone, Ed Woodward?
Yeah,
Is he finally gone? That seemed like a long divorce as well. I don't know what was going on with that, but everyone just needs to leave Ten Hag to do the football side, let other people do the commercial aspects. So then you can start, because that's what the other good managers have done. That's what Guardiola did at Barca. That's what Klopp did at Liverpool whenever both of those teams needed a rebuild at that time. But we'll see. Look, I'm a pessimist. For me, there's a 50% chance of it coming off. For every Frankie de Jong, there's a Davy Klaassen. For every who's been a good. For every Van Gaal, there was a Peter Bosch who went to Dortmund and was rubbish. So I don't know. I mean, they've done well. He's won a few times, but this is the Premier League. This is Man United. This is different.
So let's set a target for the season. Where do you think Ten Hag needs to finish?
Before that, I think we need to agree on 3 signings.
Let's do that first.
3 signings that we all agree on, that realistic ones, right? 3 signings. So what are the 3 positions, right? Because that's the only thing we're going to get. 3 players. Like, I know Ragnick said, need 10 players, blah, blah, blah. Manchester United are never going to get 10 players in one go. So 3 signings, 3, whatever. 3 signings. So centre defensive mid, we've established that we need that. What other positions would we need?
For me, centre back and centre mid, because it's the core of the team. You need a strong core. Full-backs and wingers they're the most important players in the team. The full-backs and wingers can kind of
come along,
combine. But if you've got a good core, and I mean, we probably need a striker as well. But if Ronaldo's still around, if we had a better centre half beside Varane and 2 good, 1 holding midfielder, 1 creative midfielder, that immediately will get you 10 or 15 points over a season for me.
So let's go with centre defensive mid. Who would you want?
Chimani for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not. He's gone to Real Madrid.
Is he gone to Real Madrid already?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's basically.
I didn't make a list, and I think a few of these players. I think
Manchester United is just slow with it.
Yeah, slow. So I mean, Guardiola, I think, is going to Chelsea. Even Boubacar Kamara, I think, is going to West Ham on a free. He would have been a good squad player for no money.
So it's even hard to even think of a centre defensive mid.
Kurt Miners.
Do you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Declan Rice. It's going to be Declan Rice. I just have a feeling.
I don't think so.
Like, if there's no one else in the market.
And do you know what's going to happen if we sign Declan Rice? He's going to cost a load of money, and after 6 games, the media are going to be like, "Oh, Declan Rice has played 6 games. He's got no goals. He's got no assists. What's wrong with him? Let's all beat up on Declan Rice."
Yeah.
Mr. Media Man, Declan Rice is a CDM. Why are you not going in on Fabinho? Going on, but it's United, so it links back to everything. It links back to the recruitment. It links back to the media circus. Declan Rice, it will not be good enough for him to come to United for massive money and do exactly.
Yeah, it's the money aspect as well. The money aspect as well.
He could be it could be a Declan Rice clone doing exactly the same thing on exactly the same blades of grass, making the same tackles as he does in West Ham shirt. It will not be enough. So for that reason, forget about Declan Rice. He's too expensive. As I said earlier, it's the easiest position on the pitch.
What did he say?
Get a scout to go out, find someone in France. France seems to be the African countries as well. They seem to produce athletic guys with good engines, guys who are good on the ball. I'm thinking Yaya Toure is a good example. Didier Zakora back, that sounds like a bit of a random one. He was one of my heroes. He was a great player for Spurs. Just box to box, Conte.
Wow.
Slightly.
We might be linked to him from Chelsea, but that might be a Matic
that
signing.
could be another disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's not go into names. Let's just say we get the CDM that is capable of doing a better job than McTominay. We get a striker that can fill in for Ronaldo, whoever that is, however old they are, and we get another centre mid. Did you say?
Yeah, something like an Nkunku or Milinkovic-Savic, so a creative mid, assists, can score goals. Yeah. Okay,
let's say we get all those 3 types of players on those profiles. Where would you expect Manchester United to come in Eric Ten Hag's debut season? What are you thinking? What are the things that you're expecting?
I don't expect much, to be honest, even with that, because I remember when Guardiola came into the Premier League, he struggled.
He did struggle.
He took on the championship winning team, the Premier League champions, and didn't do a great job. And he needed time to bed in his philosophy. And now it's bedded in. It's ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Well, it's helped by a lot of money as well, of course.
Without a doubt. But they have a clear vision. We want this type of player. We want this type of play. That's it. And it's got to fit in. And Ten Hag, I think, is coming with a vision. he's going to need time to implement that. And I actually think the first season is going to be very difficult for him because to change a lot of the mindsets of the existing players plus try and bed in new players, it's going to be very hard. I'll be very happy if he gets top 4. I just think he needs to just show that the team is going in the right direction. It's starting to have a new style of play and a clear purpose. I'd love him to get top 4. I think he needs to get top 5 though. I think that's
top 5. Same.
Yeah, for me, I'm always about league position and winning. For me, I actually don't really care where United finish this season. I don't think there should be an expectation, and this is where we need to change your philosophy. The philosophy's been there since Fergie retired, where he didn't really get time. They had to do something straight away. This is a bigger rebuild job than any of the other managers have had to do. So for me, this season is about getting rid of the trash, getting rid of the wasters, getting rid of the dead, however we want to describe them. Get rid of your Rashford, Sancho's, McTominays, Freds, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw. Get rid of them all.
God damn.
Get building. I mean, this is the thing you said about 3 signings. I think there's a way, if United had done it right, there's a way United could get 7 or 8 players in one window by using the Bosman market, by getting sales in your Sancho's and Rashfords. I think you could get in a position where you have 300 or 400 million to spend, and then you do have.
Are you selling Rashford?
Of course, I'm selling.
In the
Rashford.
words of Thierry Henry, blimey.
Rashford. But about this season is all about getting a style of play that's sustainable and showing progress. And if you do that, like the league position will probably take care of itself if we get into at least 2 or 3 players that improve United, get rid of 2 or 3 that were making them worse, get the work ethic there, get the style of play there, then that's what I would worry about now rather than results. Because if we play Man City or Liverpool in February or Christmas or whatever, they're still gonna beat us comfortably.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But if we can get everyone on the same page, get that style, the way Ten Hag wants in, is get a couple of players in.
You'll be happy.
You'll be happy enough, and then naturally that will probably see us finish at the very worst 5th. Because if we finish behind Arsenal, it's an absolute outrage finishing behind Arsenal. I'm sorry, Arsenal are the second worst club, worst run club in the league behind United, really. And for us to finish behind Arsenal would be a disaster, and for us to even be in the same conversation as your West Ham goals, we were around them in the table, weren't we? And that's the other thing, the style of football, controlling games. Once we do, because we were getting outplayed last season by teams by Watford, Norwich when we beat them 3-2. That was a
Brighton was playing good football as well.
And this happened under Solskjaer as well a little bit because we played that counter-attacking style. But you cannot win, and you cannot be a top club and play. Yeah, you can have a counter-attacking threat, of course. You can have pace, but you cannot have a small club mentality of we just sort of hope to nick something. You need to control games. And you need to press because that's the way everyone's doing it. You need to play it from the back because that's the way everyone's doing it, and that's the way to win. So as long as you get that imprint, we're not going to be, because City and Liverpool are 5 years ahead of us in that cycle. Chelsea are an action waiting time. I think if we're lucky, we could finish 3rd. I don't think it's beyond that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to finish in the top 3, but I don't think we're a million miles off. I think we're a million miles off the top. I don't think Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea. Some fans who will not mention will have us believe that Chelsea are, the dog's biscuits, but they're not. They're an average edging team that now have a few issues with players out of contract that happen to have a very good manager. They are a good model, as in they got a good manager in who got that short term bounce, but that short term bounce gave them trophies, or a trophy, the biggest trophy.
Like Chelsea usually do. Like
Chelsea
literally
usually
what
do.
happens.
That's the thing, and trophies have certainly kept them going. But no, it's we United. Yeah, I'll just be happy with actually knowing what you're going to get from them, because you just don't know what you're going to get. Yeah, so if you know what they're going to do and they know what they're going to do, then I think the results will improve by themselves. And of course, it won't. It won't go from 6th to 1st in one season, because we won't get. As you said, I think we could go and get 8 or 9 players. that's not usually the way. I think we'll get probably 3 at a time.
Yeah,
we get
definitely.
Yeah.
And hopefully get something in January. But on that note,
any big predictions for the season? Then I just wanted to ask. So like, we
big
can look
ones.
back in 1 year's time and be like, we got that right, or we got that wrong.
Is this just United, or is this
everything in the season? Actually, any club.
So I'd say Manchester United, because I don't like watching other clubs. Only Manchester United for me. Manchester United, in its first season with Ten Hag, surprisingly makes top 4. Right, top 4. Going to be a lot of ups and downs. Maguire's going to get stripped of the captaincy.
Yeah,
definitely. I think it's going to be given to Ronaldo.
That was my next question. Ronaldo.
Going to give it to Ronaldo, and then get rid of some of the deadwood, get in some of Ten Hag's players like De Jong and Timber, and start progressively getting better. That's what my prediction and hope is. But that's just me. What about you guys?
I don't know, to be honest. I want to believe that Rashford is going to turn things around.
Turn back the clock.
I want to, because I think Ten Hag knows how to utilise players like Rashford. Rashford is not great on the ball. He's not world class, whatever. He's the kind of player that you want playing, just running off the last defender, slide the ball through, and be that passing option to stretch the defence. He's going to do that, and I think he's going to do a lot of those types of goals where Sterling comes in at far post, gets the goal, and
Taps in.
You can't do that while you're offside, though. So.
Yeah, Rashford, please come back on side, man. It's a nice place to be. I see. Hopefully, players like Rashford changing their fortunes around at least somewhat. I mean, he's had a disastrous season. There's no denying that. I want him to succeed. He seems like a nice guy. He's a Withenshaw lad like me.
Yeah.
But
hopefully, he's married his missus now, so hopefully he can get back on track.
Yeah, he's all focused up and on the game. I think United will finish 5th. Let's go 5th. And I think captain will be Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to stick with De Gea for the season. I think De Gea's been all right, and I know he wants the ball playing, the goalkeeper, etc. But I think he'll stick with him for now. There's bigger fishes to fry. McFred, will he keep McFred? No. I don't know. Why does everyone keep McFred?
Because you know what it is? It's you know what you're gonna get out of them most of the time. That's it. Even though it's not the level you want, but you can rely on at least that stability or whatever.
That's exactly the mentality of White United are where they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do you think, Conor? What are your predictions?
I'm going to say it'll be City by an even bigger margin now that they've signed Haaland and United and Liverpool have lost. Are probably going to lose Mane. I'm going to say they're still going to be top 2 because they're so far ahead. I'm going to say Spurs 3rd, a little surprise one. Spurs 3rd because I think Conte is a good fit for them. And I think it'll be a battle between Chelsea and United for top 4. I think Chelsea will probably win that out. So I think we'll be 5th. I think we'll be 5th. For me, as I kind of hinted at earlier, I would only keep of the current whole squad. These are the guys I keep. I keep De Gea and goals. I'd give Bruno the captaincy actually, rather than
Ronaldo.
But if I'm going to give Bruno the captaincy, he needs to stop this sulking that he can do. I think he'd be a good captain. I think it would improve him as well. It'd improve his attitude. It'd improve him as a player. And I think with Ronaldo, you're going to be changing that captaincy again in a year's time. So I think you want to give it to someone who's maybe going to be
sign a new contract as well.
Yeah. So for me, Bruno is captain. I'd have De Gea, I'd keep Varane, and I'd have Elanga. Elanga was my one. We didn't really get to any positives because there wasn't any, but Elanga was my one positive.
Yeah, there actually wasn't any positives.
So I'd keep Elanga as a squad player at the moment. I don't think he's any better than that right now. Everyone else I would get rid of. And how feasible that is in one transfer window, I kind of worked out that it was, but you can use the free market. So you've got this is free market as in football, not Brexit, just in case. Guys like, I think Dybala's on a free. I don't think he's going to United, is it? I haven't read up to date. I think he might be going to Inter. Ousmane Dembele's available on a free, I believe. I don't know if he's signing a new contract with Barca. But again, these are only just squad players for me. I would have, there's a guy from Rennes, Martin Terrier. I think he would be a good signing as a wide man. I think I would sign Guardiola alongside Varane. I'd sign Koufal at right back.
You're signing everyone.
I get one or two who are Prem, but you know that if you're going to sign in the Premier League, it's going to cost a lot of money, especially from so-called rival clubs, which unfortunately West Ham kind of are now because they finished just behind us. So I think this time next year will be hopefully. I think Varane will have come good. I'm going to make that prediction. I'm not normally.
What does that look like? No injuries.
No injuries.
For me, that's it. A
stable, a centre half partnership that you can say that's them two are going on the team sheet unless you want to, unless you're playing at home to your West Broms, who got promoted. Forest be good. Who else got promoted? Fulham, yeah, they're rubbish. They're yo-yo. They'll be rubbish. So you're playing at home to your Fulhams or your Brightons. Sorry, no offense, Brighton, they were good this season, but that's where you can kind of mess around with things and maybe rotate a little bit. But you want a solid centre half partnership, and that's where Varane will thrive. You want a solid centre mid combination, and you want a striker who'll score goals, which Ronaldo probably with the right service still will be able to score goals. I wouldn't have Ronaldo. I've sort of tossed and turned on this a little bit. I would have Ronaldo. Literally United. So many sleepless nights. More so, I put Ronaldo with an asterisk. If Ten Hag comes in and says, "Look, I'm not going to build a team around you, Cristiano. You're not going to be captain, and you're going to have to stick to my way. But you're still one of the best players in the world. You're the greatest player of all time, and you've got one of the best mentalities out there. You're still going to be a great player to have around, but you're not going to play every game. Is that okay with you?" If Ronaldo's okay with that, of course keep him. But if Ronaldo's going to sulk if he doesn't play, or if we have, if we don't have the balls to say we're not going to play around you, Cristiano, then no, he needs gone. So it's very much dependent on Ronaldo's future. For me, is very much dependent on the mentality of the new manager. And apart from that, as I said, United top 5. I think Forest will do well. I think they might be top half. I think Brentford are going to have second season syndrome and they're going to go down. I think Fulham will be as disgraceful as ever not to go down. Them yo-yo, this is a different podcast, but those yo-yo clubs, Fulham, West Brom, who's the old Norwich and Watford, they just keep coming up and down. They get parachute money. They're happy to go down. Yeah. It's disgraceful. It's not sporting integrity.
I'm gonna just leave now.
And I think this also links in with the title battles because you've got a lot of selective effort going on. I think at the minute you've got teams who come up against United. It's Man U, it's Old Trafford, it's a cup final. It's almost like cup final to every team who plays us. And what's building that up as well is they know they've got a chance of getting something. Yeah. Whereas what United need to do is create that aura where teams are beat on the Wednesday before the game, which happens with Liverpool. I mean, the rollovers that turn up at Liverpool and say it's a disgrace. They're beat before a ball's kicked, and that's not. It's a little bit of a dig at the smaller teams, but it's not an insult. It's what happened in Fergie's time. Yeah, we used to beat teams 2-0. I wouldn't even have to watch the game; just know what would happen. You wouldn't be worried if it's 0-0 at half time. You'd win 1 or 2-0. It'd be pretty boring. Rooney would get Ronaldo, Berbatov. Someone would get a goal, and it's routine, and that's the same as it happens now with Liverpool and City. So that's where I want United to get to. Yeah. Get to a stage where we're beating teams before they arrive on the bus. So,
and on that note, that brings us to the end of the podcast. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching and listening to our back and forth about Manchester United. This isn't going to be a regular thing, so probably at the start of and the end of every season we'll probably do this, but
we'll be 90 still here, so why can we not get a good manager?
Exactly. But yeah, you've been listening to Pree the podcast. Thank you guys for coming, and thank you guys for listening. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Take care. Peace.
Said I wake up every morning, pray to God that I'm fixing up. Hope I'm never slipping up. Hear the money calling, need my peace to start getting up. Feeling like I'm blessed, but it came with a bit of luck. Feeling like you stressed, then the tension starts to fill you up. Need an intermission, yeah, they ain't the same lane as us. Come from different sticks, yeah, they're not the same range as us. They cop the pleas and top of teas, they're not hitting range with us. Keep a couple fairy